Hello everyone, this is Anne with Junk Journals by Anne, and today I'm going to share a little fun activity that you can make ephemera, end up making some ephemera with. And it's one of these activities that you can kind of get into a kind of a mindless thing, or if you don't want to do have to think about things too much. It doesn't take a lot of thinking. And what I started with is some tissue paper. This was just purchased off Amazon, and I will see if I can't find the link for this paper. I had purchased some a while back. It had some different flowers on them, but they're just black and white flowers on tissue paper, and so it's pretty thin. But what we're going to do is we're going to use water pens. We're going to cut out these designs, and I think I'm going to start on the other side. Well, this is upside down. That doesn't matter. But we're going to start just cutting these out using a water pen, kind of like you use a water pen on napkins. And then we'll just we'll cut out some, and I've got some already cut out over here. After we cut out a few, we'll just pull out and some other paper, and we'll use some alcohol ink pens, and then we'll color them in. And you can color them any color you want to. You can also use marker pens, but they do bleed through, so you need something on your surface to protect your surface, especially if you're doing something that could bleed onto. So we'll do that, but that's what our project is today. And I can just show you a little bit of one. Here's one that I did earlier with a rose, and I don't know where this rose is. It's upside down over here. But I used the marker pens, and then I put a pink and then a darker pink towards the inside of the flower. Just a little bit of green on there. It was already cut out, and then I had I use lightweight cardstock, like 65 pounds, and I had tea dyed it of some kind, and then tea dyed or coffee dyed probably, and then I inked all around it, and it makes a nice journaling card. And these can go, you can do further decoration if you like laces on them or something, as you go to use it and put it in a journal that you're making, you can do some other decorations. But let's just get started. I think I have a cat that's just wandered in here. It's kind of nap time at this house right now, but it's kind of late, and so they might be coming in claiming some food or trying to say it's some food. Well, let's just see how this water pen goes. They've been sitting here with water in them. And I'm going to see if I can't get some water flowing so it's wet. I have not used this kind of pen before, water pen, but they're just water pens. I think these are Arteza, so they should be good pens. Okay, there's a little squeezy spot right there, but it's starting to flow. Okay, I can feel it with my other hand. So I'm just gonna go around this flower here and start taking this one off. You just go around in between on the white area. I'm gonna go ahead and take this much off too. And even some of these edge designs, even though they don't look like they would be anything, you can use them. We might have to do this in two. Sometimes I've had to take this off in two. I see I got another flower right there, but you can do these like peeking out of something underneath, so you could use them in your layering of different items. So don't throw the edge ones away, even though there's an edge right here that's cut off. You could have that being poking out from another card when you put it in your journal. It could just be poking out, and you only see a little bit of it, so don't throw those away. So put those in a pile, and I'm working my way into these whole flowers, and we'll just keep going along here. I'm going to take off this little beetle. This was a kind of neat pattern. The friend I craft with my friend Marcia on Wednesdays, and I had shown this to her at one time, and then one day, and then using the paper that I already had, it was a little different design, and maybe they change after a while, that what they offer, but I think it's mostly out there, and it's not too expensive, and you get a ton of it. Okay, so there's a little beetle. I'm going to put that in a pile. I'm going to cut off these other ones too to get some of these edge ones done. I like this brush now that it's working. It gives a lot of flow. I had another brush that was required me to use it twice, over it twice on everything. You see, they just tear very easily. It just tears where that wetness is, just like napkins. I'm going to put that in the edge pile. So now here's a little leaf design I can get out of here. I'm only going to do a few of these because I have some already cut out. I just wanted to show you where I started and how you can start, how it can be very easy. Love making these make ahead ephemera that, you know, doesn't take a lot and kind of a mass make type of thing. And so that you can build up a stash of ephemera pieces. So these can be decorated in whatever style, I think in many styles anyway. I'm not going to say every style, but you could probably figure out a way to do it. I don't know about the steampunk method, but okay, so there's a nice little leaf that could go someplace. And we're getting over to some of these. I'm going to get this one off here. I'll get at this big rose and then we'll go proceed in with our coloring. It's always kind of fun to color. And I would even use that one because you can always use, whoop, where'd it go? You can always use that on edge design someplace, poking out someplace. And I'll do this one with a little leafy pattern, but this one is a full leafy pattern. So it tore a little bit further. Okay, that won't make that much difference. And since that's an edge design, it won't make any difference at all. And so let me get this one off and then the big rose, and then we're going to go on with coloring. So I hope everyone's having a good day today. It's always a good day to craft, and I look forward to my Wednesdays with Marcia. She was a student when I taught at a local place in Cleburne, Texas. She was my first student, and we have become friends since. And she just loves it when I come in with she does not have a lot of time to watch videos of other people. So there's a little flower design. We can do that one. And now I'm going to get this big rose. I know you probably all want me to do a tulip, but maybe we'll get there. Just kind of glide between them. And if you think it's going to tear funny, make sure you get plenty of water on there. Just lay that brush down and the water just flows. This pen is really nice. But she doesn't have the time. She's got a husband and 5 grandkids she sees often. Actually, I think this summer she's babysitting 3 days a week. So, well, Dad works, so she's very involved with family things. So she doesn't have a lot of TV time that she can sit and watch YouTube. I start my day every day with a latte. Well, at first I feed my cats. They get priority attention, and then I get my latte. I got hooked on them many years ago, but I have a little machine. I get 1 cup, and I'll nurse that while I'm watching YouTube videos. Usually I start the morning, and I'll usually, that lasts me a good hour plus. It does. I'm not a fast drinker on my latte. I just slowly sip it down. That's how I start my day, and I enjoy that time. It's quiet in here, and you never know when I get up, because I'm one of these oldsters that, if I wake up in the middle of the night and have to use the facilities, I might just stay up. So it could be 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I'm normally up by 5 at the latest. That's on a good day if I sleep in. So I have usually a lot of time in the morning to do that. And then after let's see, what else do I do early in the morning? After I do that, and I have pills I need to take, and then Of course, I'm taking care of my cats. You know, they have litter boxes. That chore, I get it over with in the morning. So it used to be I'd wait and wait and wait, and then maybe I wouldn't get it done, and that wasn't fair to the kitties. And so now I do it kind of first thing in the morning, after my coffee, of course. And then I have been taking Tai Chi classes, and it's Tai Chi for diabetes, Tai Chi for arthritis. And it's a program that the instructor taught us, that Dr. Paul Lamb put out. And he's got a couple little teaser videos on YouTube, but you really have to really take the class and learn it. You have to go to a class, in-person class, and it's twice a week. It's Tuesday and Thursday mornings. So those days I really have to get up moving kind of fast. I say kind of fast, but I don't leave the house until 8, and I normally get back by 11, 10 or 11, and that might include a run to the grocery store or something too, because there's a grocery store close by. So, but I have been, shouldn't brag about it now, I've not been good about doing Tai Chi at home, even though I have the videos. And I do have videos that you can purchase from your teacher. This one's taking, maybe it's dried out a little bit. Anyway, she did, eventually I bought the videos for a couple of them. And just the Tai Chi for arthritis is what she starts with. But there's all sorts of things, and she'll include special movement things for body health, you know, different parts of your body and things. So I think it's a really good program. The best thing about it for me is it's helping with my balance as I'm getting older. I've hit that 3/4 century mark already, and I'll be 1 year older here in another couple of months. And so my balance has been off kind of, and I do kind of use a cane when I go out places that might be uneven surfaces or something. That seems to kind of throw me off balance a little bit. I'm knock on wood, I have not taken any falls recently. Okay, so there's a tulip, and we got our rose. So I think we're going to stop there on doing these. But I do think it's helping with my balance. So I'm going to put this pen up, and it's got a little cap, and just keep the water in here. I'm going to put that up. And then I have a sheet over here that I was kind of coloring on, and I'm going to bring out my watercolors. Now, this set, there's more that were in the set, but I wanted to get them close by so that they'd be easily, and I wasn't looking all the time. So I have kind of purpley ones over here, blue ones here. These are more reds. Maybe those were the pinks over here. Those were the pinks over here or something. Maybe these were the pinks, and these are the greens. Okay, so I could just kind of pick a pen, pick a color. This was a set. Yes, I know people have their problems with Temu. I went through a phase and got some things with Temu, but, you know, they're inexpensive. They get to you pretty quickly, and everybody has to make their own choice. So that's all I'll say, okay? But there were several in the pack, and it was a bag they came in, like a reusable bag, but I didn't like it because I couldn't find anything in there. Well, I still can't find it, but I do have them now. They're in a drawer now that I can find things with. I think I'm going to do let's do a more, these are reddish ones. Let's do a red rose, some kind of red here. It's this one. Okay, it's hard for me to read these. Okay, my vision isn't the best either, so, but we're just going to kind of take a shot at it and see. We can always deepen it if it goes darker, but a little bit lighter color on this, and then we can always go in. These blend very well. So we're only going to do a few of these because I have several already done. You don't need to watch me color. You can probably color better than I can. But they're these alcohol markers, and maybe I'm sure that there are other brands of alcohol markers. You get oodles of colors. And I find it's good, but it does bleed through some already. See, it's bleeding through. So when you use them, don't use it on your good dining room table or your good surfaces. You want to use something underneath of it so that you're not going to stain something. So I just use a book page. And we'll do this, and I'll see if I can kind of deepen it down a little bit down in the, because most roses would be down inside in the petals, you know, starting on in this area where they kind of have lines and stuff. They would be a darker color, but we'll just do something here. And with these pens too, there's so many of them. If I really took the time, I could get different looks. You know, if you really want vintage-looking roses or something, person could do that. Or if you're shabby chic, or if you're just a bright and sunny, you know, just things, and you don't want it all old-looking. Because I know a lady, when she came to a class, she didn't like the vintage look. She wanted everything bright and sunny and fresh, and so we just, you know, it's the people's choice of whatever you want to do, however kind of journals you like to make. But it's, like I said, this is just kind of a no-brainer. Just, you know, and you're not even having to cut between these. You just, that water pen just works beautifully. And that pen worked a lot better than the pen I was using earlier. So, so I think that our Artesia's pen is probably worth it. There were several pens, and then there's some little brushes in the set too. It looked like there was 10 pieces in there, but maybe 8 or 10 pieces. But there's at least 4 water brushes, and then a couple of looked like paint brushes too. So that looked like a good set. But my friend Marcia sent that because I think she took one of the pens that I had the day I was sharing with her, and then she showed it to somebody else, and so she thought she had to replace it, which she didn't. But that's what, you know, that's what she did. She replaced it. Okay, I'm just going to pick a green, and this, whatever leaves are, I mean, it's probably not a true rose leaf green, but it's a light enough green that you can see green leaves on here. And then I already pre-cut some journal cards and some pockets, so I can just use some glue stick on the card. I would not try to put glue stick on the back of this tissue paper. I think it's too, I don't know that it would glue very well. I think it might tear while you were trying to glue it down. So we'll do that, and then make a couple pieces of ephemera. And so this video is not very long, and I apologize for not getting one in last week. I had a sister-in-law who had requested a journal, that I make a journal for her, that because she knew some friend of hers was retiring, and the retirement party was July 17th. So I knew I had to make it, and make it early, and that took precedence. Particular sister-in-law, I really think a lot of her, and so, you know, I wanted to do this for her. Not many people, in my view, come around and say, hey, would you make me a journal? So maybe it will get more so. And in the past, most of the journals I've given out as gifts and things, just, you know, because when you get hooked on making journals, you know, you start giving them away to people because you can't keep them all, you know. Well, and that's my experience. Put a little bit of kind of orangey yellow in there. So, so I think that one's done. So it just, set this up here. If it's going to go up here, I'll check. So, you know, it's just very, very, very light. I'll put this over here so we can do that in later. And then I'm going to take another little one of these little ones that we did. Maybe we'll make something. Do I have some blues? Yeah, let's try some blues or blue-greens. See what this is. And just, I don't know what kind of flower. Whoops, I did the wrong end of that one. Yes, have to watch which end these are. They're markers on one side and fine point on the other side. Yes, I know. So we'll do kind of blue. This came out kind of dark, but you know what? And I'm sure in journals, you know, there's places that you can put this in someplace for a card or something, or either a journal card or a pocket. And I just move it around to where it's easy for me to do this. And I think I'll do the centers on these different colors. Maybe put a yellow stem in here or something. You could, if you were really good with this, you could probably make your leaves different colors there. And that's got, what has this got over here? It's got a little funny leaf over here, I think. And then probably that'll be green. So here's a stem here, a petal here. You know, and if you get out of line, this is a junk journal. You know, you want to do nice, but you know, you don't have to be fanatical about it unless that's the way you are. And if you are, that's fine too. But I would just kind of just go with the flow. I'm looking at these pens. They do have a mark on the outside of the lids. So I'm going to go in here, make that kind of a yellowy. It was kind of a good thing for the stamen. And I'm going to put a little bit of green. Let's take another green. I have been taking watercolor classes for about the last 5 or 6 years, and we're just now learning how to do roses. We were last spring. Mine are not turning out very good, but I just know I need to do more practice with it. But it's hard to, when I'm not, when the classes are not in session, and she has a fall and then a early spring into springtime sessions normally. And when I'm not doing classes, it's hard for me to do that. And that's my kid, one of my kitty boys. He's probably saying it's time for dinner. I can't feed you right now. No, I can't. No, I will feed you in a little bit. Okay, so that's all for coloring. I'm going to move these out of the way, and we'll bring in some. I'm going to use this now as a glue page, and I'm going to glue a couple of these on here. I do not do this one. Let's get this pile of things I've already colored, and definitely that rose, and see where they'll fit. So those are bigger ones that I could use eventually for the tulips. Here's some journal cards. And I had, tea-dye, I did some of this I used the red cabbage, so I have blue on this lightweight cardstock. I'm already gluing, and here's a pink one. That's a little bit, yeah. I think maybe I do need that one on a bigger sheet. I don't know. And then I have some pockets. Maybe is this one bigger? Yes, that one's bigger. So let's just try that. I'm gonna get my glue stick, and I do like the Scotch permanent glue. I like the Scotch Create glue, but I guess they don't make it anymore. And then just glue some of that down and kind of lift it up and just glue on the card. I can always go back and glue where it needs a touch-up around the edge. That needs a little bit. Maybe a little trim off the edge. Try to get this down here. Okay, kind of got a wrinkle, which, you know, it really doesn't hurt it, but just, you know. Anyway, so I see a lot of viewers. I see a lot of other tutorial people. And I finally just decided, you know, I've tried the teaching in person, which I'm teaching again at a little place in Burleson, Texas called Russell Farm and Art Center. And we're just getting classes. I had one session with 4 ladies, and they seem to enjoy it. And we're kind of going just kind of on a month by month, well, every 2 months or something, but we did not do it in July. We had kind of a mix up on scheduling, and they didn't have a space for me. So we're going to use that time to get somebody get people registered, and they are part of the Burleson City Parks, so they don't have funding problems, which I've had with the other place I was at. So I'm kind of looking forward to working there. And right now in June we met in the barn. So that makes a journal card, and here again you can put some laces around, or do whatever you want. I guess that's the way the rose goes, but you can put lace down here or up here, add some lace to it, or whatever you wanted to do to make it go right in your journal. And I'll put these out here too. You can tell I kind of like red. I was going to do a darker red in here, wasn't I? All right, let me see what I have a darker. This is wine red. Oh, is that the point? Yes. Let's see how this, and they do blend well. So I just put some darkness down in here, where it's like would be going down into the rose. That was kind of interesting to do that. Or you've missed, like I've missed a little bit of places down there. So it just gives a little bit more depth. I like the blending possibilities with these markers. And since I know that these were inexpensive ones, maybe that's a good way to try, and maybe eventually I'll get some name brand ones. I mean, I don't know what the Arteza might be one, because I know that they have a lot of colored media things, because I see other people using their products. So after these go, I don't know how long these will last. I've had them for a while before I ever tried using them. And, so excuse me, I need to get my watch stopped. I had a timer set for something. Oh, I think it's because I was running a load of clothes, and I just thought I was going to get them taken care of. But see, even just that little bit of darkness gives that flower a little bit of movement, and so it doesn't take much to make it look, add a little bit of depth to it. So there's two things, the one I had earlier. And let's see what we can do now. We did that blue. What do I have over here? Where's my pile of finished ones? I had them all piled up over here someplace. Out of the way. These are not finished. Do one more that we can finish. That's a different one than this one. Yeah, that's different than that one. You can tell I like those. And here's a couple I did earlier with things I had done earlier on the patterns that I had. See, it's just a little card. These are just little cards, and I need to trim some of that off, but I glued it on there. Little things you could just stick in a journal. I mean, you could just ink the edges on these. I don't have these inked. I just stick them in a pocket or something. They just make little sweet things, and these aren't even very square. You can square them up and do those things. Put all these things to the side so I could find them, and now I'm not finding them. The ones that were colored already, because I had several that were colored already. Oh, they're right in front of me. Yes, right. So let me take, instead of these, let's just make a couple of cards out of some of these that are done. And okay, this little rose, or little flower. Okay, so I have several of these. And I'm going to just tear a little bit of this one off, so it isn't going to hang over. And this has got a little piece right here. You can always trim these up later, and if you want to fine tune it. So on that card, that would look pretty sweet. And the pink card. I think that this ink is, or this glue stick is getting low on glue. But I just want to share this as a nice little addition to most any journal. And you've hand painted them, you've hand colored them. your colors, your choice of color, whatever medium, whatever color medium, alcohol ink pens, or, you know, I know marker pens will work too. Just put these down, and this white, I mean, especially on these light colors, just kind of disappears in the background. But it's another way you can make little pieces of ephemera that can go on your journals and make your journal special. All right, come on, glue. Yeah, I can see you're almost at your end. And just a little bit here. So that's what we have for today, okay? And I'll get this video posted. My goal is to have videos coming up every Friday, and should give me the week to get them done, and eventually I have several ideas ahead here, and I know that just in seeing things, and I'll be out and about and something pops in my head, well, why don't we do this for a journal? So I will eventually turn them into videos. And thank you for watching. My name is Ann, and with Junk Journals by Ann, and I will do a closing now. We'll just take a look at what these ones that were completed, and these are the ones that I have to complete yet. You don't have to watch me do all of these. And I guess needing to feed some kitties, I'm going to close this out a little bit earlier than I planned on. If those all show up here, we'll just get this over this way a little bit so you can see them. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I'm not too far out of frame. This looks like it might be a little bit crookedy, but it looks straight down here on my table. I'm still learning how to do this using my iPhone 13 to film. And I'm going to tell you just all, thank you for watching. Hugs from Texas. See you next time. Bye for now.